Hey everybody, it's Shelby with a Chick Plus 3. Welcome to my Sunday crafting corner. Today we are going to make Irish wishing jars. Although I am very Irish, you do not need to be Irish to make yourself a little jar of luck. Please note, no leprechauns were harmed in the making of this video. So what do you say? I hope you join me. Let's go. Okay, so I am gathering my supplies. Almost everything is from the Dollar Tree. I'll let you know if it's not. There's some window clings there, some glitter paper, the adhesive cork sheet. Now I certainly don't use this all. I'm just giving myself options. Those little cupcake picks did come from Michaels. There's the jar. You could also use a pickle jar if you did not want to purchase a jar, but the Dollar Tree does have quite a variety of jars. So I'm just showing you all different items from the Dollar Tree that you could use in your Irish wishing jar. If you do not have any of these little pieces of wood from the Dollar Tree, you could use a cork. Or just look around your house and, be creative and find anything. That's the fun about crafting. You can do your own thing. I just am giving you a general idea and then you can run with it. If you don't want a leprechaun inside your wishing jar, some of those fairy garden figurines from the Dollar Tree would make a beautiful jar. I decided to go with this plastic jar that I did get in the Easter section at the Dollar Tree recently, and I chose this one because I really liked the look of the green and white check jelly jar lid. Now I was really pleased this label did not leave any residue. I just peeled it carefully, but it came completely off. These would be the perfect jars if you were working with children, where they're plastic, no worry about breakage. So I'm just deciding what I think I'm going to use and testing out my jar to see what will fit inside. I want something for my little leprechaun to sit on. So I'm definitely going to go with one of those little wood stumps that came in a bag from the Dollar Tree. So now I'm just trying to decide which leprechaun I would like to use. You could trim these down with scissors if you wished. As I say, you don't have to use a leprechaun. You could print a picture out if you have a color printer. That would be very nice. If you happen to have a Cricut, you certainly could cut one out of vinyl also. Or you could just use a regular sticker, not a window cling. So now I'm just playing around with my leprechaun. That sounds funny. I'm just trying to decide how I want this little guy to work in the jar. Now, one of the nice things about this project is I did not make anything permanent adhered to the jar, so after St. Patrick's Day I can just take this apart and then use my jar for an Easter project. Because in all honesty, I don't plan on storing this until next year. So again, if you've watched any of my crafting videos, I like to show you how I craft in real life. Trial and error, kind of making adjustments as I go and figuring things out, again, as I go, how I would like it to be. Again, these are a cupcake topper from Michaels, but again, you could use a sticker from the Dollar Tree, or you could use a window cling. You could cut out that little pot of gold there, and I could have used that. But since I have these cupcake toppers, I thought I would go with those. Now I was thinking perhaps I would use this green glitter paper on the bottom of the jar. But again, trial and error. I'm thinking about it, but I will decide against it. But if you like the idea of the green glitter in the bottom, then you certainly could do that. But I've decided that I'm going to go with the moss instead. And the Dollar Tree currently has quite a nice selection of various mosses. I liked that this one has variegation in color of moss, and then it also comes with some dried flowers and little pine cones. My glue sticks I also get at Crafter's Square from the Dollar Tree. And my glue gun is just a simple one that I picked up at Hobby Lobby. And the Crafter's Square glue sticks work in that. So here I've decided to just glue my little leprechaun window cling to that log piece. And this is really the only thing that is permanent in this Irish wishing jar. And I debated gluing that down in the bottom of the jar, but because the window cling sticks nicely to the inside of the jar, I decided not to glue it. And as I say, then when St. Patty's Day has come and gone, I can just disassemble this and reuse my pretty little jar. So there he is, sitting nicely on his stump. And I'm just playing around, smoothing him to the inside of the jar. I'm just being very fussy. You could do this much quicker. Okay, I think I now have him how I want him, sitting sweetly on the stump. There's my little cake topper, or cupcake topper. And I'm just going to put the little dab of glue on that and stick that to the stump also. This gives it some nice dimension. And if you had difficulty getting your fingers down into a jar, you could also, the Dollar Tree has many options for wide-mouthed jars, or again, look around your home and find something, you know, in your recycling. Again, because none of this has to be permanent, You could use anything you wish and then just disassemble it, no damage to the item. So I'm just putting some of the moss down in the bottom to add some texture. Make him look like he's sitting out in the forest. Now my Dollar Tree had this crushed stone in 2 different shades of green, but they also carry glass beads and pebbles, so you have quite a few options. And what's nice about adding this in, besides just the moss, is it puts some weight in it, and so it holds the moss down nicely. So there you can see the stones. And you just eyeball it, you put in the amount that you would like. I liked that brighter green to, again, add some varying colors. And I thought, what would be a wishing jar without some glitter? So I have various glitter and beads. Again, these are all in my stash, but they're things that I have purchased over time at the Dollar Tree. Sequins, so again, you can use any supplies that you may have in your stash or that you can find. Glitter, sequins, buttons. You literally could even use candy sprinkles. I'm going to just add a couple of the little heart gems down in there. And then I have to have glitter. So the only thing with a plastic jar and glitter is when you shake the jar or if you drop it, the glitter will adhere to the sides of the plastic because of static electricity. But that's all right, it still looks pretty. I dropped mine since filming this and I still am very pleased with it. And now I'm adding some gold. The Dollar Tree also sells plastic gold coins, so if you had a larger jar that you were using, some of those gold coins would look sweet in it, or you could put some real pennies in it. I'm sure my grandkids would get a kick out of that if we gave them real pennies to put in. And I'm just deciding now, flour, no flour, decisions, decisions. And I just want to show you here, there's various options for finishing it off. You could put some little stones like that. That's the ribbon from the Dollar Tree. That's like a gem wrap. You could use any type of ribbon. You could use twine. I've decided to add a little bit more to the inside, so I'm going to put some of these little shamrocks that are on my sheet of window panes. Sadly, my fingernails are all broken, so I am struggling quite a bit to get those off. And so now I decide to use one more in a darker shade of green. So if I had planned this all out, I would have put those on prior to putting the stones and the glitter in. But thankfully, it didn't disrupt anything, so it still all worked out. And I wanted to keep this video just as is because, again, this is how I craft, just on the fly. I don't think there's any right way or wrong way when it comes to crafting. You do what works for you. Again, here's just options. I'm trying to decide if I want to do anything on the lid of my jar. I debated gluing a piece of the nautical rope around the top. Looking through my stash of ribbon to see what color struck me, because I was thinking I wanted just a little something. I think if I had my twine, just my plain twine, I would have gone with that. This is how it would look if you chose to use the nautical rope. You could hot glue that right on the jar. That would be a cute option. I decide, however, not to do that because I would like to reuse my jar after St. Patrick's Day. So what I decided to do was take this green wire stem. Again, these are in my stash from the Dollar Tree, and this will just give the lid that little something that I was looking for. That handy dandy trick of wrapping the wire around a pencil to give it a nice spiral effect. I always find that fun to do. So if you were doing this with a group or a girls' night, you could just put out a variety of all different items, ask everyone to bring their own jar, and then they could just go to town creating. I think that would be so much fun. And then again, flower, no flower. I think the sunflower is a very cute option. Here's another option. You could use a piece of dried flower or a pine cone. These are some stickers, Crafter Square. Lots of nice colors to choose from. So I decide to stick with the green theme and use one of those. Now these did have a little self-adhesive dot on the back, but I just wanted to make sure that mine didn't fall off, so I'm just going to put a little dot of hot glue, but that's an unnecessary step, and I just glue it to the wire so that it's not on my metal lid. And there you have it. I was very pleased with how this came out. I think he's absolutely adorable. So I hope I gave you all some inspiration to create your own little St. Patrick's Day Irish wishing jar. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for joining me today and crafting along. I always think it is so much fun. So until next time, everybody, happy crafting, and please remember, be well,